The house was quiet after sunset, except for the faint laughter of a little boy echoing from the upstairs hallway. Mark Hamilton, a millionaire widower known for his strict routine and quiet grief, stood at his study window, watching the lights flicker in the garden. His life had become a loop: work, silence, and the occasional forced smile for his son, Oliver. Since his wife's passing, the world had lost its warmth. The only real laughter that still filled his mansion came from the woman he had hired 6 months ago, the nanny. Her name was Emma. 26, soft-spoken, always smiling, no matter how long the day had been. She read bedtime stories in silly voices, burned cookies while trying new recipes, and somehow managed to make even that house, the one that still smelled like loss, feel alive again. That night, as she said goodbye at the door, Oliver clung to her. "Please don't go, Miss Emma." "Just stay," he begged. She laughed gently and kissed his hair. "You be good, little man. I'll see you in the morning." Mark watched from a distance. Something in his chest ached as he saw how naturally she fit into the picture that used to be complete. Mother, father, child. But she wasn't family. She was an employee, and yet there was something different about her. Something he couldn't explain. When she left, Mark found himself staring at the gate longer than usual. He didn't know why, but that night, instead of pouring himself a glass of scotch and going to bed, he grabbed his coat and followed her. He told himself it was concern, just to make sure she got home safely. The neighborhood wasn't exactly kind to young women walking alone after dark, but deep down, he knew it was more than that. Emma walked quickly, holding her worn-out bag close. The path took her out of the wealthy part of town, down cracked sidewalks and dimly lit streets. Mark's luxury car looked out of place there, but he kept his distance. Finally, she stopped outside an old apartment building, paint peeling, stair rail broken. He frowned. This couldn't be where she lived. She worked for one of the richest men in the city. He paid her fairly, so why was she here? He parked the car, got out quietly, and watched from across the street. Emma climbed the stairs and knocked on a door that opened almost instantly. A frail woman appeared, grey hair, thin frame, coughing softly. Emma rushed to her side, holding her up with care. "Mom, you shouldn't be out of bed," she said softly. Mark froze. Her mother. Inside, he saw through the window. Emma cooking soup, adjusting blankets, cleaning the small room with gentle precision. There were no signs of luxury. No signs of a life benefiting from a millionaire's paycheck. Every bit of her money, it seemed, went into taking care of that woman. When her mother smiled and whispered something, Emma's eyes glistened with tears. She took her hand and said, "Don't worry, Mom. The doctor says you'll get better soon. I'll take extra shifts if I have to." Mark felt a lump rise in his throat. He stood there for several minutes, rain beginning to fall, realizing that behind her gentle laugh was exhaustion. Behind her kindness was sacrifice. He drove home silently that night. The next morning, when Emma arrived, cheerful as always, pretending she hadn't spent the night nursing her mother, Mark couldn't look at her the same way. During breakfast, he watched her cut Oliver's pancakes into tiny hearts, humming a lullaby. The sight made something in him break open. "Emma," he said quietly when Oliver ran off to play, "why didn't you tell me about your mother?" She froze, eyes wide. "You followed me?" she whispered. He nodded, ashamed. "I was worried. You live in such a dangerous neighborhood." She lowered her gaze. "I didn't want pity. You've done enough by hiring me." Mark leaned forward. "You work harder than anyone I've met. You never asked for more, even when you clearly needed it." He paused. "That's not strength, Emma. That's self-neglect." Tears welled in her eyes, but she forced a smile. "Sometimes we have to be strong, even when no one sees us." Something inside him shifted completely that day. Without telling her, he arranged for her mother to receive full medical care through his family's foundation. When Emma found out, she tried to refuse, but he wouldn't let her. "It's not charity," he told her. "It's gratitude. You gave my son his smile back." Months passed. Her mother recovered, and Emma finally moved to a better home. She continued working for Mark, but the energy between them changed. The house that once felt cold began to glow with quiet warmth again. One evening, Oliver fell asleep early, and the two adults found themselves alone in the dimly lit living room. The storm outside mirrored the silence between them. "Do you ever miss her?" Emma asked gently, referring to his late wife. He looked out the window, rain streaking down the glass. "Every day," he said. "But lately, I've started remembering how to live again." When he turned back, she was standing close, eyes glistening with empathy. "That's what she would have wanted," Emma whispered. He nodded, voice low. "Maybe she sent you to remind me." The distance between them faded, not in words, not in touch, but in understanding. Two broken souls quietly healing each other. Years later, people would talk about Mark Hamilton's comeback, how the cold millionaire who'd lost everything found peace again. But few knew the truth. It wasn't wealth, success, or fame that saved him. It was a humble nanny, walking home through the rain, caring for her dying mother in silence, who taught him that love isn't about what you keep, but what you give away.